Alana Morrow loved the rhythm of the telegraph more than any music in the world. The sharp, clean clicks were the heartbeat of Sagebrush Station, bringing news from nearby towns, warnings from the sheriff's office, and the occasional sweet message between lonely ranch hands and their sweethearts. But today, the wires hummed wrong. She pressed her ear closer to the receiver. The pattern was broken interference, static, and a strange cutting sound, like someone tampering with the line. Her stomach tightened. Sagebrush Station sat alone on the outskirts of town, a small wooden building with a tin roof and a single telegraph pole, standing like a sentinel. If the wires went down, Sagebrush would lose communication with every settlement from Canyon Ridge to Dusty Rock. Alana stepped outside, shading her eyes against the merciless sun. The wind tugged at her brown hair and her boots crunched on the gravel. She followed the wire with her eyes until she spotted movement, a rider approaching. Morgan Hale, the quiet, gentle cowboy, had a reputation for kindness and courage. He helped calm wild horses, carried groceries for widows, and volunteered for every town supply run. He always tipped his hat to Alana when he passed by, but today his expression was sharp with concern. "You look troubled," he said, sliding off his horse. Alana exhaled slowly. "The wires aren't acting right. Something's interfering with the line, and it isn't weather." Morgan frowned. "Bandits were seen on the East Ridge yesterday." "That's exactly what I'm afraid of," Alana replied. Without hesitation, Morgan said, "I'll ride with you. Show me where the trouble is." "You don't have to," she argued softly. His blue eyes warmed. "Alana, you shouldn't check the lines alone." Her heart fluttered door. Maybe she was just nervous. She grabbed her tool satchel and walked beside him as they headed down the dusty trail toward the main telegraph line. A mile out, they found the problem. The wire had been sliced clean. Alana knelt, fingers brushing the frayed ends. This wasn't an accident. Morgan crouched beside her. "They want Sagebrush, blind and silent. Easy target." Alana looked up at him, determination igniting. "Not if we fix it." "We will," he said, voice steady. "Together." For the first time, she wasn't alone, and strangely, she didn't want to be. The sun dipped low as she worked, twisting and soldering wire, while Morgan kept watch. Every snap of a twig made him tense, but he never moved far from her side. When the line finally reconnected and the telegraph hummed with life again, Alana let out a shaky breath. Morgan helped her up. "Whatever's coming, we'll face it." Alana nodded, feeling her world change in a way she didn't yet understand. The repaired wires sang steadily as they made their way back to the station, but Alana's nerves wouldn't settle. She kept glancing over her shoulder, half expecting the bandits to appear again. Morgan noticed. "You're thinking hard," he said gently. Alana sighed. "If they're bold enough to cut the line in broad daylight, what else will they try?" "Whatever it is, they'll have to go through me first," Morgan said. Heat rushed to her cheeks. She wasn't used to anyone standing between her and danger. But danger didn't care. Halfway home, the faint thundering of hooves echoed from the ridge. Morgan grabbed Alana's hand. Down now. They dove behind a cluster of rocks, just as 3 bandits crested the hill. Dust swirled behind them. Their guns glittered in the setting sun. "Someone fixed the wire," the leader snapped. "Find M." Alana's breath froze. Morgan's hand rested firm on her back, steady and warm. He leaned close enough for his whisper to brush her ear. "Stay low. Don't move." One bandit rode dangerously close to their hiding spot, scanning the rocks. Alana's heart hammered so loudly she feared he'd hear it. Morgan shifted slightly, placing himself in front of her, shielding her with his body. After a tense minute, the riders turned away, galloping toward the canyon trail. Only then did Alana breathe. "You okay?" Morgan asked softly. She nodded. "Long as you're safe," he said. They walked back to the station carefully. Morgan carried her tool satchel even though she insisted she could manage. He ignored her protests with a quiet smile that made her chest feel strange and warm. Inside the station, Alana immediately checked the receiver. The lines steady. Morgan stood beside her, arms crossed, They'll come back, I know, Alana said, but we'll be ready. She turned to him. Morgan, why are you helping me so much? His eyes softened. Because I care. Her breath caught before she could speak. The telegraph clicked rapidly. A warning message. Bandits spotted, heading west, toward Sagebrush. Alana stiffened. They're coming. Morgan reached for his gun. Then let them. They won't touch you or this station. She looked at him differently now. Not just a cowboy. Not just a helper. A protector. A partner. Someone she could trust with her life. Whatever happens, Morgan said, tightening his grip on his revolver, I won't leave your side. Alana believed him. And for the first time since the wires went silent, she felt stronger because she wasn't alone anymore. Night settled heavy over Sagebrush Station. Alana lit the lantern, its warm glow casting soft shadows on the wooden walls. The telegraph clicked steadily. Traffic from nearby towns buzzed with rumors of bandits. Messages about stolen supplies, raided ranches, riders moving fast in the night. Alana typed updates with sharp precision. She had never been this busy, never been this scared. But Morgan didn't leave the doorway. He stood with his back straight, hands resting near his revolvers, gaze sweeping the darkness outside. You should sit, Alana told him. His voice was gentle but firm. I'm fine. You're the one who needs rest. I can't rest, she said quietly. Not until the town is safe. Morgan walked toward her, stopping beside her desk. Then I'll stay awake with you. Alana's chest tightened, not with fear, but with something warm and unsettling. Hours passed. Outside, coyotes howled. The wind rattled the windows. Morgan occasionally shifted, checking the shadows, then checking her. Then, bang, the front door shuddered violently. Alana jumped. Morgan immediately pulled her down beneath the desk. Stay low. Shouts erupted outside. Boots stomped on the porch. Open up. A rough voice yelled. We know you're in there, Morgan whispered. They're testing the door. They'll break in soon. Alana's pulse roared in her ears. Morgan reached out and squeezed her hand. We'll get through this, he whispered. Alana swallowed hard, nodding. Another slam. The wooden door cracked. She crawled to her drawer, pulled out her small pistol, and cocked it. Morgan's eyebrows lifted. You know how to shoot. I know how to defend myself, she answered. He grinned, for the briefest moment proud, impressed, before focusing again. We need help, Alana whispered. If I can reach the pole switch outside, I can send a distress signal. Morgan nodded. I'll draw them off. You run for the pole. She grabbed his sleeve. Be careful, please. He touched her cheek gently. I will. They moved to the back door quietly. Morgan slipped out first, positioning himself behind the station to make noise and pull attention away. Gunshots cracked through the night. Alana sprinted to the telegraph pole, dodging bullets that kicked up dust near her boots. Her heart thundered as she climbed quickly. One bandit spotted her and raised his gun. Before he could fire, Morgan tackled him from the side. Alana yanked the lever. Click. The emergency signal shot down the wires. Help was on the way, and she had Morgan to thank for being alive long enough to send it. Dawn painted the sky in streaks of rose and gold as the sheriff's riders approached, but the bandits refused to give up. They regrouped behind the barn across the clearing, loading rifles and shouting orders. Alana and Morgan crouched behind the station's sidewall. She checked her pistol. Morgan checked both revolvers. They'll rush us before the sheriff gets close, Morgan said. Alana nodded. Then we stand our ground. Morgan glanced at her with admiration. You're braver than most men I know, and you're too kind for a man who keeps running into bullets, she shot back. He grinned, but it faded as the bandits charged. Gunfire exploded. Morgan fired clean and fast, keeping them back. Alana handed him bullets, reloading her own pistol. Smoke filled the air. Bullets thudded into the station walls. Stay behind me, Morgan yelled over the gunfire. Alana aimed carefully and shot a bandit climbing onto the porch. I'm part of this fight too. Morgan didn't argue. The bandit leader stepped forward, fury on his face. Give up the station. The wires belong to us now, Morgan. stepped in front of Alana, over my dead body. The leader sneered. She ain't worth dying for. Morgan didn't hesitate. She's worth everything. Alana's breath caught. Even in the chaos, those words hit harder than any bullet. The leader raised his rifle. A gunshot cracked from behind. The sheriff's riders had arrived, flanking the bandits. A full fight erupted. Dust flew. Horses screamed. Men shouted. Morgan pulled Alana close as they ducked behind a barrel. Stay down. They waited for the storm to pass. When it finally did, the bandits were in irons, and the sun was fully risen above the plains. Sheriff Harlan rode toward them. If you two hadn't sent that distress signal, Sagebrush would have been smoked out. You saved the whole town. Alana and Morgan shared a look: relief, pride, and something deeper. When the sheriff rode away, Morgan touched her arm gently. You were incredible. So were you, she whispered. She stepped closer. Morgan didn't back away. His hand brushed hers the slightest touch, but it sent warmth rushing through her. Alana, he murmured, I wasn't just protecting the station. She held his gaze. I know. And for once, they didn't need wires to communicate. Sagebrush buzzed with excitement for days after the attack. Townsfolk brought food, supplies, and thanks to the telegraph station, everyone whispered about Alana and Morgan, some teasing, some approving. Alana pretended not to hear, but Morgan only smiled softly every time their names were mentioned together. They worked side by side, repairing the station. Morgan replaced planks. Alana rewired the receiver. Sometimes their hands brushed. Neither pulled away. One evening, as the sky blushed pink, Alana stepped outside to breathe the warm air. Morgan followed, leaning against the railing beside her. You're quiet, she said gently. He looked out at the plains. Just thinking. About what? You, he said honestly. Alana's heart fluttered like a trapped bird. Morgan turned toward her. What we went through. I can't pretend it didn't change me. Me too, she whispered. He brushed a curl from her face. I care about you, Alana, more than I've cared about anyone. I didn't mean for it to happen this way, but I'm not sorry. She stepped closer. Then don't be sorry. He cupped her cheek, tender and steady. May I? Alana nodded before he finished the question. Morgan kissed her softly, deeply, with a sweetness she had only imagined in her loneliest nights at the telegraph desk. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't unsure. It was real, steady, like the hum of the wires they had fought to protect. When they parted, Alana rested her forehead against his. I guess the station wasn't the only thing saved. Morgan smiled. No, I think it saved me too. They stood hand in hand, watching the light fade over Sagebrush. Knowing the worst was behind them meant the future carried a new kind of message. One, written not with dots and dashes, but with love. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Western stories.